My friend, you search for success, but have you ever asked yourself, what is it you truly seek? Most people chase success as if it were some treasure buried far away. They run faster, push harder, and yet they feel lost because they fight the wrong enemy. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not with another man. It is the battle within yourself. You see, the mind is a battlefield. Every doubt, every fear, every hesitation. These are the invisible opponents that defeat more dreams than any punch, any obstacle, any enemy. I learned this truth not from books, but from my own struggle. When I was young, I believed that strength was built in the body alone. I thought if I could train harder, fight faster, hit stronger, I would conquer the world. But over time, I discovered, before I could master the punch, I had to master the thought behind it. Everything begins in the mind. As you think, so shall you become. If your thoughts are weak, your actions will follow. If your thoughts are clear, strong, and disciplined, then even in chaos, you will stand unshaken. So if you wish for ultimate success, my friend, you must begin not with your muscles, not with your money, but with your mind. When I first came to America, I was just a young man with a dream and an accent. People laughed at my voice, at my philosophy, at my heritage. Some told me I would never make it. They said, "Bruce, you are too small, too different, too foreign." At first, those words hurt me. I felt anger, doubt, and even fear. But instead of running from those feelings, I studied them. I watched my own mind the way a fighter watches his opponent, and I realized something powerful. The moment you observe your thoughts, they lose their control over you. The world will always try to shape you with opinions, with expectations, with fear. But the man who succeeds is the man who shapes himself. He builds an inner world so strong that no external storm can destroy it. When you reach that point, you become free, free to think, to act, to live by your own design. I remember the long nights when I trained alone, in the dark, sweat dripping from my arms, lungs burning. There was no applause, no camera, no recognition. Just me, my will, and the silence. It was there that I learned my most important lesson. Success is not built in the light of others. It is forged in the darkness of your own struggle. My friend, if you want to change your life, start where you are. Do not wait for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself first. That is the foundation of all victory. Your mind, my friend, is like a garden. If you do not cultivate it with intention, weeds of fear and doubt will grow on their own. You must be the gatekeeper of that garden. Be aware of every thought that enters. Ask yourself, does this thought strengthen me or weaken me? If it weakens you, remove it. If it strengthens you, water it, feed it, make it grow. Too many people let their minds be filled with noise, gossip, worry, self-criticism. They allow the opinions of others to take root in their soil. Soon they no longer hear their own voice. And when a man loses connection with his own thoughts, he becomes like a leaf in the wind, blown by whatever direction the world decides. You must not be that leaf. In my training, I discovered that every movement begins long before the muscles act. It begins as an image in the mind, a flash of intention. If that image is unclear, the strike will be weak. If that image is pure and focused, the body moves with precision and power. The same law applies to your life. If your vision is clouded by fear, your actions will stumble. But if your vision is clear, guided by purpose and conviction, then even obstacles become part of your flow. So, guard your mind. Each morning before the world touches you, take a moment to touch your own thoughts. Ask, what do I want to build today? Train your mind as you train your body, with discipline, repetition, and awareness. Do not allow negativity to enter your temple. Feed it with courage, with gratitude, with clarity. Remember this, you are not your thoughts. You are the master of them. And when you master your mind, you master your life. You see, success is not something that happens by accident. It is a pattern, a rhythm built by your daily mental habits. If you think strong, you will act strong. If you think small, you will live small. So let your thoughts be large, fearless, and alive with purpose. That is the first rule of ultimate success. Let me tell you something about the world, my friend. Most people pray for an easy life. They want comfort, safety, and smooth roads. But what they do not see is that ease is a trap. When you stop challenging yourself, you stop growing. The very comfort you seek becomes the cage that holds you back. When I was younger, I faced many physical setbacks. I was small, often underestimated, sometimes mocked. When I injured my back, doctors told me I might never practice martial arts again. I remember lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling pain not only in my body but in my spirit. For a moment, I thought my journey was over, but then I realized pain is not my enemy. It is my teacher. Every hardship you face is an invitation to become stronger than you were before. The muscle grows only through resistance. The sword becomes sharp only after it faces the stone. And the spirit becomes unbreakable only when it learns to endure struggle without losing hope. So do not wish for life to be easy, my friend. Wish instead to become strong enough to handle whatever life brings. The easy road may look smooth, but it leads nowhere worth going. It is the rocky path, the uncertain climb, that reveals your true power. You see, we live in a time when many people fear discomfort. They avoid the heat of the forge. But how can one be tempered if he never faces the fire? In martial arts, if you stop just before the point of exhaustion, you will never know your limit, and therefore you will never surpass it. It is only when you are tired, when your mind says, no more, and you still choose to move forward, that is where growth begins. I used to train until my legs trembled, my lungs burned, and my body screamed for rest. And yet, in that pain, there was freedom, because each drop of sweat reminded me, I am alive, I am capable, I am evolving. That pain was proof of progress. You must see it that way too. In every struggle, there is a seed of transformation. If you can face difficulty without running, you will learn something that cannot be taught in any school. You will learn yourself. The weak man avoids pain. The strong man learns from it. And the wise man uses it to become unstoppable. So whenever life tests you, smile and say, good. Because that means life believes you are ready for more. Do not escape the challenge. Embrace it. Do not curse the storm. Learn to dance in the rain. Your reward will not be comfort. It will be power, the kind of power that no one can give and no one can take away. The power of self-mastery. You see, my friend, in the pursuit of ultimate success, struggle is not the obstacle. It is the way. When you choose strength over ease, when you stop running from difficulty, you will discover something extraordinary. Life stops defeating you because you no longer fear it. And that, my friend, is the essence of freedom. My friend, have you ever watched water move through the world? It does not fight the rocks in its path. It flows around them. It does not break itself against the mountain. Instead, it softens the stone over time. Patient, persistent, unstoppable. That is why I say, Be like water. When I was young, I did not understand the power of this idea. I thought strength meant rigidity, that to win you must resist everything. But life, like combat, does not reward the one who resists. It rewards the one who adapts. A fighter who is stiff, who cannot change his rhythm, becomes predictable. The moment you are predictable, you are defeated. But the fighter who flows, who can shift from one stance to another, who can transform tension into timing, that fighter becomes impossible to stop. It is the same in life. So many people resist change. They cling to the familiar, even when it limits them. They fear uncertainty, forgetting that all growth is born from the unknown. When you refuse to adapt, you create your own suffering. But when you flow, when you allow life to move you without losing your center, then every change becomes a teacher, and every obstacle becomes part of your way. You see, water has no shape of its own. It takes the shape of whatever holds it, yet it remains itself. That is the secret. When life changes form, when your job shifts, your relationships change, your dreams evolve, do not cling to the old container. Flow into the new one. Stay true to your essence, but flexible in your expression. There was a time when I faced much resistance from traditional martial artists. They said, "Bruce, you are breaking tradition. You are disrespecting the masters who came before you." But my friend, truth does not belong to one man or one system. To cling blindly to tradition is to imprison yourself in someone else's understanding. So I told them, I respect all styles, but I am bound by none. I allowed my art to evolve as I evolved, free, alive, adaptive. That is why I called it Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. It is not a system, it is a process, a living thing that grows and changes just as water flows and reshapes itself. If you wish to find success in your own life, you must do the same. Do not fear change. Embrace it. When the current shifts, do not curse it. Use it. If one path closes, find another. If one plan fails, adapt your strategy. Do not be trapped by your own expectations. Remember, water that stops flowing becomes stagnant. A man who stops learning, who stops adapting, becomes lifeless inside long before his body fades. So flow, my friend. Flow through uncertainty, through disappointment, through chaos. Let go of the illusion of control, and instead master flexibility. Be soft enough to yield, yet strong enough to persist. That is the power of water and the secret of endurance. Because no matter how many walls are built against it, water always finds a way. Now let us speak about action. You see, thinking and doing are two very different things. Many people think endlessly. They analyze, they plan, they prepare, yet they never begin. They tell themselves they are waiting for the right moment. But my friend, there is no right moment. There is only this moment. When I first began teaching martial arts in America, I had no money, no fame, no guarantee that anyone would listen. But I did not wait. I rented a small space. I taught with passion. And I trusted that my energy would create its own momentum. And it did. If I had waited until everything was perfect, Jeet Kune Do would never have been born. Too many people drown in their own thoughts. They build castles in their mind, but never lay a single brick in reality. They want certainty before action, but life does not work that way. Certainty is a luxury of those who have already acted. You must be willing to move, even when you cannot see the whole path. In martial arts, hesitation is death. If you wait to strike until you are absolutely sure, you have already lost. You must feel the rhythm, trust your training, and act in flow. It is the same in life. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. Do not be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are feedback, not failure. Each misstep teaches you something that success cannot. When I choreographed my first fight scenes, I made many errors. Some movements looked stiff, unnatural, but with each take, I learned, I adapted, and soon my art became something alive, a fusion of precision and spontaneity. That was only possible because I acted first and refined later. You see, perfectionism is a form of fear. It is the ego's excuse to avoid vulnerability. You tell yourself, I will start when it's perfect. But what you really mean is, I'm afraid to fail. Do not wait for confidence to appear before you act. Confidence is built through action, not before it. So take that first step, even if it's small. Write the first page. Throw the first punch. Start the journey before you think you're ready, because readiness is not a state of preparation. It is a state of commitment. Once you begin, you will learn what you need along the way. Think of it like training. You cannot perfect your kick by watching others kick. You must step onto the mat, feel the ground beneath your feet, and fail forward until the movement becomes part of you. That is how growth happens, not by avoiding imperfection, but by dancing with it. Action is the bridge between your inner world and the outer world. Without it, even the most powerful thoughts remain only dreams. So do not just think about your potential. Express it. Move, act, create, evolve. The path will reveal itself as you walk it. Remember, my friend, a warrior who hesitates in battle is already defeated, but one who steps forward, uncertain yet committed, that man finds victory not because he knows the outcome, but because he dares to engage life fully. So stop waiting for permission. Start now. Let me tell you something I have learned through years of practice and teaching. Mastery is not about knowing many things. It is about understanding one thing completely. I said once, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. That, my friend, is not just about fighting. It is about life. In today's world, people are scattered. They jump from one thing to another, chasing novelty instead of mastery. They learn a little of this, a little of that, but never stay long enough to go deep. Their knowledge becomes wide but shallow, like a puddle after rain. But the man who commits to one path, who digs deep into his craft, he becomes like a well, narrow but reaching water that never runs dry. When I trained, I repeated the same movements thousands of times, not because I loved repetition, but because I respected it. Repetition transforms weakness into instinct. It builds muscle memory, yes, but more than that, it builds mind memory. It teaches patience, focus, and humility. You learn that mastery is not a destination, but a relationship between you and your discipline, renewed every day. Most people give up when progress slows. They mistake boredom for stagnation. But in truth, the slow moments are when refinement happens. That is where you begin to polish the invisible details. The angle of a wrist, the breath between movements, the silence between thoughts. And those details, my friend, are where greatness hides. There is a danger in chasing too many things. Your energy becomes divided, your spirit diluted. You cannot pour yourself fully into anything because you are always moving on to the next. But when you choose one pursuit, one art, one purpose, and you give yourself entirely to it, something miraculous happens. Your consciousness deepens, time disappears. You enter what I call the flow of totality, where you and your work become one. I found that in my training, in my acting, in my writing. When I was fully present, there was no Bruce Lee and no technique, only expression. That is mastery, when effort becomes effortless, when form becomes formless, when doing becomes being. So, find your one thing, that which calls to you even when no one is watching. Commit to it, study it, live it, and do not rush, because mastery is a lifelong journey, not a sprint. Remember, the master was once a beginner who refused to give up. Each repetition is a step on the path. Each setback is a hidden teacher. Do not look for shortcuts. They will only rob you of depth. Instead, fall in love with the process itself. The process is the reward. You see, my friend, the world will tempt you with speed, but greatness grows slowly. It is not built in bursts. It is built in rhythm. Discipline is the heartbeat of excellence. And when you live that rhythm day after day, you become not only skilled, but centered. You become free because you no longer depend on external validation. You know your worth through the depth of your own practice. So master one thing deeply, and in mastering that, you will master yourself. My friend, one of the greatest dangers for any seeker of truth is imitation. Most people copy because they fear to create. They follow systems, they repeat words, they obey rules, never asking, does this still serve me? They wear another man's coat, even if it does not fit their shoulders, and so they lose their own shape. You see, when I created Jeet Kune Do, many asked, is this a new style? I said, no, it is the end of style. Because the moment you name something, you limit it. You confine it to boundaries, to traditions, to expectations. But truth, like water, cannot be confined. It must remain fluid, changing, adapting, alive. The same is true for you. Learn from everything, my friend, from every art, every teacher, every experience. Be humble enough to be a student of life itself, but do not swallow knowledge whole. Taste it, chew it, digest it. Keep what nourishes you and spit out what poisons you. Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own. When I was a student, I studied many martial arts: Wing Chun, boxing, fencing, judo, philosophy, psychology. I took what worked, I tested it, and I made it mine. That is the key. Do not just collect knowledge like trophies. Apply it. Test it against your own experience. Knowledge that is not lived remains just theory, empty words. It must pass through the fire of practice to become wisdom. The world is full of people who recite wisdom they have never lived. They quote great thinkers, but their lives contradict their words. Do not be one of them. Be original, not for the sake of being different, but because truth, when filtered through your own experience, becomes something no one else can replicate. You see, individuality is sacred. There will never be another you. If you spend your life trying to be someone else, a replica, a shadow, then the world will never know your true potential. That is the tragedy of imitation. It kills authenticity before it can bloom. So, study widely but remain selective. Learn from others, but never become them. Be inspired, but never enslaved by inspiration. You must develop your own way, your own rhythm, your own expression. In combat, I never cared about rigid patterns or sequences. I cared about what worked now, in this moment, in this reality. That is the essence of adaptability, to live according to truth, not tradition. In life, the same principle applies. Do not cling to beliefs simply because they are old. Do not reject ideas simply because they are new. Let experience be your laboratory and truth your only authority. When you build yourself this way, through learning, testing, and creating, you become free. No one can trap you with dogma or expectation, because your way, like water, belongs to no one but you. So, my friend, never fear to be original. Never fear to question what you are taught. Remember, even your heroes are only signposts pointing you inward. The master's true purpose is not to make you a follower, but to awaken the master within you. Take what I have shared, test it, and then evolve it beyond me. That is the true spirit of growth. Now we come to the final rule, my friend, the one that gives all the others meaning. Because what is the value of strength, of mastery, of success, if it serves only yourself? I once said, the key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. People often misunderstand this. They think immortality means fame, being remembered by millions. No. It means living in such a way that your influence continues in the hearts of those you have touched. That is the true legacy. Many chase recognition. They want their names in lights, their faces on screens, but these things fade. Fame is like smoke, visible for a moment, then gone. What endures is not your image, but your impact. How did you make others feel? Did your presence lift them? Did your courage inspire them? Did your example awaken something sleeping inside them? That is what remains when the applause dies. I have seen talented men lose themselves to the hunger for attention. They forget why they began. Their art becomes performance, not expression. But art, whether it is fighting, acting, writing, or living, must come from sincerity, not vanity. The most powerful work flows from purpose, not from pride. When I trained, I did not seek to be better than others. I sought to be better than myself. Every day, a little stronger, a little wiser, a little freer. That was my true competition, and through that, I discovered something profound. When you focus on becoming your best self, you automatically uplift others. Your life becomes a mirror that reflects possibility. So ask yourself, my friend, why do I seek success? If the answer is only comfort or praise, you will find emptiness even when you win. But if your reason is growth, contribution, or service, then success will fill you with peace, not just pride. In the end, we are all just travelers passing through time. We will not take our trophies or possessions with us, but we can leave behind ideas, examples, and energy that continue to grow long after we are gone. Every act of courage plants a seed in someone who needed to see it. Every act of kindness echoes further than you will ever know. That is the way to live for impact, not applause. To wake each day and ask, how can I help? How can I serve? How can I make something or someone better today? Do this, and your life will not only succeed, it will matter. True immortality is not measured in years, but in influence. When you touch one heart with honesty, one mind with wisdom, one life with kindness, you have already become immortal. So, my friend, forget the spotlight. Become the flame. It is not important that people remember your name. It is important that your light continues to burn in their actions. That is legacy, not the echo of your name, but the continuation of your purpose. And so we have come full circle. We began with the mind, and we return there, because all these rules, all this wisdom leads back to one truth. The power to shape your destiny lies within you. Guard the gate of your mind. Choose strength over ease. Flow around obstacles. Act before you feel ready. Master one thing deeply. Learn broadly. Keep selectively. Create uniquely. And live for impact, not applause. These are not just ideas, my friend. They are disciplines. Train them as you train your body. Sharpen them through action, through reflection, through failure, through perseverance. Because philosophy without application is like a weapon that is never drawn. It may look beautiful, but it serves no purpose. Understand this. Life will never stop testing you. There will be storms, heartbreaks, losses, but every test carries a message. How strong is your spirit? And your answer must always be unbreakable. You see, the goal of life is not to avoid struggle, but to evolve through it, to face pain without bitterness, to face change without fear, and to face failure without surrender. When you can do that, when your mind remains still amid chaos, you have already succeeded. The man who masters himself cannot be defeated by anything external. His peace does not depend on circumstances. His joy does not depend on approval. His worth does not depend on success. He is free, and freedom, my friend, is the highest form of success. When I look back on my own journey, I realize that everything I have shared with you, every rule, every lesson, was not something I discovered overnight. It was forged through sweat, pain, doubt, and persistence. But I would not trade a single struggle, because each one shaped the man I became, and I believe the same is true for you. Every difficulty you face is molding you, refining you, preparing you to live your full expression. So do not shrink from challenge. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not fear standing alone. Move forward with awareness, with adaptability, with courage. Because the moment you take control of your mind and refuse to give up, at that moment, you become unstoppable. Remember, success is not a destination. It is a state of being, a harmony between thought, action, and purpose. When you think clearly, act decisively, and live sincerely, success follows naturally, like the shadow that follows the body. So live this philosophy. Practice it every day until it becomes your nature, because wisdom is not meant to be admired. It is meant to be embodied. And now, my friend, I leave you with this. Be water, adaptable, resilient, unstoppable. Face life's hardships with the courage of the warrior and the calm of the sage. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. Use your mind as your greatest weapon. Sharpen it, direct it, and never forget, you have the power to create your own reality. When you master your mind, when you embrace the struggle, when you flow with life rather than resist it, nothing can hold you back. You will move through the world not as a victim of circumstance, but as a creator of destiny. And that, my friend, is what it means to live the way of the dragon.